Deputy Governor, Majority Leader, Minority Leader, Honorable Members of the County Assembly, our County Secretary, County Executive Members, Chief Officers, Nakuru County staff, and the beloved residents of this great county. We are living in challenging times, and as you all know, this address would otherwise have been made in the County Assembly in the presence of members and our cabinet and together with the public. But unfortunately, today, we have to address matters affecting the county virtually because, as we all know, we have to adapt to the challenging times under the COVID-19. Since March last year, we have had to introduce a raft of measures to protect residents as well as to prevent the spread of the disease. We also have worked on implementation of guidelines given by the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Transport, and as well collaborate with the Interior Ministry. In March 2020, we had to decongest sectors with great population by relocating bus stages and markets to areas that were more conducive to their business. We did put hand washing points, social amenities such as toilets, and also worked to improve infrastructure in areas we relocated the stages and markets. After a few months, we allowed traders back to the market and emphasized on strict observance of the Ministry of Health COVID-19 protocols, including wearing of masks. We set COVID-19 isolation facilities across the county to manage the disease and have increased our bed capacity to 500. Private hospitals have also played a critical role, and we also wish to take this opportunity to commend them for acting in a manner that is most complementary to the challenge of COVID-19. My administration, through the Department of Health Services, trained over 2,000 health workers on COVID-19 management. We went further to train 3,000 community health volunteers on home-based care for COVID-19 patients. These CHVs have been critical in managing the pandemic, especially on home-based care. And we wish to note that, especially for patients who did not have any serious symptoms, they were referred to home and would be visited and get guidance from these community health workers. So we wish to take this opportunity to congratulate the entire health team, together with the community health volunteers, for their continued selfless efforts as frontline workers in this war against COVID-19. I salute and appreciate each and every one of you for working in the over 200 health facilities spread across the 11 sub-counties. You are heroes, and I assure you that my administration will continue to support you through training, provision of protective gear, and motivate you so that you can continue to pursue your noble duties. Fellow residents, we braved the first and second waves, and just as we thought things were getting better, with the lifting of restrictions, the third wave hit again. We are under lockdown alongside 4 other counties considered to be under the high infection zone. As I address you today, I wish to state that the number of COVID-19 cases in Nakuru is rising. The statistics show Nakuru County has recorded 7,472 cases as at 13th of April 2021. Unfortunately, 212 of these have succumbed to the disease. The impact of COVID-19 has especially been severe in the third wave, not only because of the economic challenges associated with the lockdown, but also the number of fatalities. The variant has symptoms that camouflage as other diseases, therefore easily ignored, and patients therefore seeking medical help when it is often too late. Currently, we are having 87 people admitted in public and private isolation facilities, with 73 being on oxygen, while 5 are on ICU. To date, we have vaccinated a total of 30,000 residents, with the beneficiaries being mainly the frontline workers and the elderly. We have set up vaccination centers in hospitals, both public and private, across the 11 sub-counties. By now, the COVID-19 has reached community level, and most of us know someone, a friend, a colleague, or a neighbor who has been infected or succumbed to the disease. As a county, we have lost critical members of our staff. It will be remembered that late last year, we lost Engineer Ochieng, one of our most dedicated officers. Later on, we also lost Dr. Kingori, who was our general in the fight against COVID-19 and leading our public health officers in ensuring that the county put up a proper fight against the COVID-19. And we salute his courage, especially in those very difficult times. We also lost our Deputy Director for Political Affairs, retired Sergeant Wilfred Chebochok. And like all the others, he was in the front line because we had done a robust sensitization program that included going to the villages and ensuring that the communities are well informed. And again, to the families of these three and others who have fallen off in the process, our condolence to these families. At the County Assembly, we were also affected in a big way. We lost Sami Karanja Mbugwa from London Ward. We also lost John Juguna, also known as Wasusi, from Hellsgate. And since then, the 2 by-elections have been held, and those positions have already been replaced. I request that we all observe a minute of prayer for these families, among others. And also I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge that we have lost very senior members of the society from the political class. We've lost some of our most seasoned politicians, Olesonu being one of them. We also lost one of our most dedicated farmers, Mr. Ndongo of Pokea Farm. And it will be remembered that this is one of our best performing farms, best known for breeding of Holstein cows, and one that has been an inspiration to many young farmers who have visited there, and many others who have succumbed along the way. So I think for us, our hearts are down, but we stand in prayer and remain hopeful that especially in days to come, we will be able to overcome this pandemic, and also to really beseech that the people who have been profiled for vaccination to come up and indeed not listen to the propaganda that we've seen in recent times that has affected that. But I'm happy that already we have seen that upsurge in uptake of vaccination. Ladies and gentlemen, my administration continues to put measures for preparedness and ensure our health facilities are well equipped and staffed. We continue to collaborate with other state organs in the management of COVID-19 in the county through the COVID-19 emergency response, and working through the county commissioner and his team. We want to thank the entire team for work well done, although still much more needs to be done, and I'm sure we'll be able to see this cooperation also in the coming days. In the past few weeks, the investment we made in healthcare has proved to be very useful, especially in mitigation against COVID-19. We must remember that, for example, at the PGH, we have an oxygen production plant, and this has ensured steady supply to our hospitals, both private and public. But as we all know, the demand has risen steadily, and while we have been producing 20 cylinders, and this has been sufficient over time, now we have to produce a total of 120 cylinders a day. And this has, in many instances, been a major challenge. Our aim, therefore, is to increase supply and also pipe oxygen in all our health facilities so that we can be able to meet any emergencies that come. COVID-19 pandemic had a negative impact on almost all the other sectors of the economy. Lives have been disrupted, jobs lost, and we are also faced with a great challenge of asking ourselves, what next? In March last year, we introduced a raft of measures to cushion the vulnerable members of the community across the county. We distributed food and non-food items to over 140,000 households across 54 wards, and cash transfers made to 2,555 families in one ward. We also distributed vouchers worth 4.5 million shillings to cancer patients, hawkers, persons living with disabilities, and also HIV patients. We also distributed vouchers and food packages worth 4.5 million to 698 ECD and private school teachers. We identified persons living with disabilities as a vulnerable group and ensured food packages to a total of 7,900 967 persons. Through the Nakuru Community Support Initiative, we also received donations of food and non-food items that were distributed to the vulnerable. We also activated our TVETs and engaged current and former students to produce reusable masks that were distributed free across the county. Fellow residents, you'll remember that 2 weeks ago, we introduced tax incentives to cushion our traders, especially in small and medium enterprises, from the impact of the lockdown. These included a waiver on market fees for the months of April and May 2020, waiver for fees paid by boda operators for the month of April, and 50% monthly charges for tuk-tuk operators for the month of April 2020. Waiver on penalties on trade licenses accruing after 31st March to 30th of April were also considered, while 100% extension on land rates waiver up to 20th of April 2021 were also instituted. We also had a waiver for trade licenses for local private primary schools and also secondary schools. The key lesson we have learned from the COVID-19 pandemic is the importance of having functional healthcare systems. One of the key agenda has been to improve healthcare through building of hospitals, equipping them, and ensuring that they are adequately staffed. We have done this by allocating 32% of our budget, amounting to 6.3 billion shillings of our total budget, to healthcare financing every year. The county government of Nakuru has so far operationalized 13 new healthcare facilities, and 26 more are upcoming in various stages of construction. Level 2 and 3 hospitals are the first point of call when people fall ill, as they are unable to adequately manage small conditions such as flu, skin infection, diarrhea, among others. In my manifesto during the 2017 campaigns, I promised to build several health facilities to improve healthcare services across the county, and to this effect, we set over 1 billion shillings for infrastructure upgrade of health facilities that are now ongoing in various parts of the county. Currently, we have about 10 major hospitals under constructions across the county. In Naivasha sub-county, we are constructing a 300 million hospital in conjunction with the Kenya Electricity Generating Company, KenGen. This hospital will help us to attend occasional accidents across the Nakuru-Nairobi highway, as well as workers in the flower farm and the big industrial base that is coming up in Maimahiu. At the level 5 hospital here in Nakuru, the construction of a 4-story outpatient department at a cost of 600 million is complete, and equipping will begin anytime soon. In Maimahiu area, we have earmarked this area for upgrade, noting that the inland container terminal and the standard gauge railway are the new economic drivers of this place. And therefore, to match this new status, the county government of Nakuru has set aside 160 million for Maimahiu Hospital upgrade. The groundbreaking was done early this year, and construction is ongoing. We have also set aside funds for the construction of staff houses in our for our healthcare workers, to ensure the facility is open round the clock. In Gilgil, the construction of a 40 million modern maternity is almost complete. We also constructed a modern theatre at the hospital, which is also fully operational. A few weeks ago, we began the construction of a modern level 4 facility at Njoro Sub-County Hospital, and it will cost a total of 157 million and will cater for patients from Mau Narok, Mauche, Kihingo, Nesfit, Lare, and Njoro. We are also constructing a modern outpatient facility at Taita Health Facility in Mauche at a cost of 25 million shillings. In the first phase of the first phase of a modern 150-bed maternity wing at Elbagon Hospital in Molo is almost complete. The contractor is fitting and installing doors, windows, electricity, and we expect that in the next 2 months it will be complete. The 40 million wing will also house theaters, laboratories, x-rays and ultrasound, pharmacy and essential maternity services. Last year we equipped a comprehensive theater at the Elbagon Nyayo Ward Hospital. This means there will be no referrals to level 4 hospitals, as the hospital will manage complex surgeries that were previously referred to level 4s. In Molo, we are constructing a 200 million modern level 4 hospital, and once complete, the facility will be critical in handling emergency cases on the highway, especially the accidents that often have been referred there, and it will also help us to manage the region beyond just the Molo constituency. In the neighboring Kuresoi South sub-county, the construction of a 100 million Olenguroni hospital is taking shape. The hospital will have a comprehensive outpatient unit, an administration block, and a mother-child special clinic. In Bahati sub-county, we have just completed the construction of a 30 million Githioro Health Center in Dondori Ward. The facility is set to serve residents who had previously traveled to Nakuru level 5 or other facilities nearby for treatment. And I am happy that we are now at the equipping stage for this particular facility, and it will go a long way in alleviating the suffering for patients around Bahati Githioro area. Beyond the infrastructure upgrades, we are also deeply engaged in the cancer management. And I want to confirm that working with the national government, we initiated a 500 million facility that is set to be our radiotherapy center, and it is meant to complement our cancer treatment center that was initiated in 2018, which has so far been able to attend to 30,000 people, patients for that matter. But as we all know, for cancer management, you also require radiotherapy services that we previously have had to refer patients to Nairobi or Eldoret Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. But with this facility born by the cooperation between the national government and the Ministry of Health and the national government, the 500 million facility is at the tail end, and we are happy to note that once it has been installed, we'll be able to cater for all radiotherapy services, including brachytherapy, which is a modern way of addressing radiotherapy, and we also have a CT simulator machine and a LINAC. The radiology center will complement the oncology center that opened in May 2018 and will be expected to give comprehensive cancer care that has been lacking in this entire region. To ensure efficient service delivery in our hospitals, we automated payment systems across 19 facilities. This has led to an increase in revenue collection in hospitals from 400 million to 1 billion in the last 3 years. So we have had an increase of about 600 million shillings just by changing and automating those services. Payment for services at these hospitals are made through bank agents or M-Pesa to clear medical bills, therefore sealing loopholes that have previously dogged the institutions. The revenue collected from these facilities has been used to improve the infrastructure mentioned above, and in future we will even enhance this particular service and also spread it across all the other facilities that are not yet in this. To ensure residents get adequate service, we have ensured timely procurement of medical supplies, and to this I want to confirm that we have enough stocks, and we are always equipped for the next 90 days even if no supply was to come. And this has gone a long way to ensure that confidence in our public health facilities is restored, and we have seen this through increased visitations by our patients across all the hospitals. To match and address human resource capacity in line with the ongoing infrastructure upgrade in our hospitals, we have employed over 500 additional healthcare workers, and these newly employed workers include registered nurses, paramedics, physiotherapists, radiographers, clinical officers, public health officers, and ambulance operators. We have also effected the promotion of various cadres of health workers, including nurses, clinical officers, public health officers, physiotherapists, nutritionists, among others. Recently also, we promoted 74 doctors, and allow me also to confirm that a lot of the challenges we've had in the past, including strikes by the healthcare workers, has been because of lack of promotion over time. So I want to confirm that as a county, we have met our side of the bargain and will continue to honor the agreements we have made with the trade unions and the healthcare workers. Ladies and gentlemen, timely response to emergencies can mean life or death to a patient. This is why we invested in the purchase of ambulances, and now I want to confirm that we have a functional fleet of 30 ambulances, 5 of which have advanced life support equipment. We have also set up an ambulance dispatch and control center to enhance emergency and referral services, where all ambulances have been fitted with a modern GIS system. That's a geographic information system. In the event of an accident, the paramedic manning the dispatch and control center, in the event of an incident, the paramedic manning the dispatch center sends out a radio signal that is received by all ambulances, and the nearest one to the scene attends to the accident. And this has reduced a lot of costs associated with ambulance management, because you would have an ambulance take a patient to Naivasha and come back empty, while there was need for a patient to be taken from the same Naivasha and brought here. It brought greater efficiency in the management of our ambulance system. The dispatch center is also linked with other emergency service providers such as Fire Brigade, the police, the NTSA, Kenya Red Cross, and the St. John's Ambulance to ease coordination among disaster response units. And again, I must confess that challenges in coordination between these emergency response units has been a major cause of delays in addressing accidents, especially on our major highways. And therefore, we want to applaud this particular initiative that allows emergency responders to be in one team and to make sure that within the shortest time, they are able to address whatever emergencies that are there. Ladies and gentlemen, agriculture in Nakuru produces about 40% of the national GDP. We are in the top 3 in production of quality of milk in Kenya. And in the year 2020, farmers in Nakuru County produced 382 million liters of milk compared to 300 million liters in 2019. This was an increase of about 27.2%. We attribute this increase to adoption of improved feeds due to increased use of silage and legume fodder, as well as favorable weather that we experienced in the year 2020. Last year, the county government of Nakuru procured the first forage harvester together with other farm inputs as part of the agriculture mechanization project. And this was done at a cost of 13.7 million shillings. The equipment is helping dairy farmers to make forage, and this translates to quality fodder, which increases milk production and also beef, and mutton, and hides. In 2017, the county government of Nakuru spearheaded the avocado revolution, aimed at encouraging crop diversity and also giving our farmers an alternative crop. Farmers harvested the first crop with about 4.2 tons of avocado fruits collected from 15 farmers in Amalo and Kiptagich wards, Kuresoi South, for export last year. The county government of Nakuru started to breed, The county government of Nakuru has also started a breed improvement program to help farmers get better returns from livestock keeping. A total of 100 Sahiwal and Borana bulls were purchased. We also got 130 Dopa rams and 130 girl goat backs have been distributed under the initiative at a cost of 21.5 million shillings. We also started a program to boost income and nutrition supplementation. We launched the local chicken stimulus project last year and have distributed about 50,000 chicks to date. Another successful project that is helping improve livelihoods as well as nutrition is fish farming. The county government of Nakuru introduced fishing activities at Kenyatta Dam in Kuresoi North Sub-County by introducing 10,000 fingerlings. Kapkores and Ngenda dams in the same area were also restocked with 5,000 fingerlings each. This initiative has created job opportunities for the youth and encouraged a fish-eating culture in a community that previously did not consume the fish. This year, the Department of Livestock and Fisheries, in collaboration with the national government, introduced 100,000 tilapia fingerlings in Lake Naivasha. Last year, 250 metric tons of fish worth 240 million was harvested from Lake Naivasha and sold. And this, as you can imagine, also translates to many families and many homesteads that have also benefited from this money. The lake supports over 1,000 fish farmers directly, while another 10,000 people benefit indirectly. Thus, the restocking will ensure continuity and sustainability in fishing. To improve fish trade, we completed the equipping of a fish bulking, preservation and processing unit at the central fish landing site at the lake. This was done at a cost of 20 million shillings. And once this is complete, we expect that trading and fishing activities will be improved, especially given that this is a major employer for that region. Ladies and gentlemen, the Parethram Revival Program is another milestone we have made in the county. I want to take this opportunity to cite one Joshua Tonui from Kuresoi South, who was among the hundreds of farmers who embraced planting of the crop and is reaping benefits today. He harvests the flowers twice a week and sells a kilo at 200 shillings, and this earns him about 15,000 a month. This is the story of Kuresoi, Subukia, Gilgil and Molo, where farmers have planted the crop. Since the inception of the Parethram Revival Program, 8 million Parethram seedlings have been distributed to farmers across the county. Last year, an additional 200 million shillings was disbursed to buy Parethram seedlings. We target to have 1,500 acres under Parethram, but currently it is at about 1,000 acre mark. We encourage our farmers also to plant other crops of high value, such as macadamia, and this will be part of the bigger diversification program that we have already launched. Markets are critical to the agricultural value chain, and to this extent, my administration has invested in upgrading markets across the county to ensure conducive environment for our traders and customers. In Nakuru County, we have over 70 operational markets, while others are at different stages of construction. Some of the work at the markets include upgrading existing markets, construction of sheds, fencing, drainage works, and proper sanitation. We are also improving storage facilities for traders, especially those that require cold rooms. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to note that the use of ICT has become critical, and traders are embracing digital marketing for their produce. To promote this, we installed Wi-Fi in Kabazi and Gilgil markets. This has helped our traders to identify and connect with suppliers and traders from far and beyond. In top market here in Nakuru, East Sub-County, we have done additional roofing on walkways and slaughterhouse rehabilitation using 8 million shillings upgrade program. In free area, we build sheds and stalls at a cost of 10.8 million shillings. In the same ward, we also constructed new sheds concrete drainage works at Wakulima, and concrete and drainage works at Wakulima for a sum contract of 50 million shillings. The work included sewage rehabilitation, building of water collection points, and installation of water tanks. New sheds were constructed at Heshima Market at a cost of 10 million, and in Longonot we also built paddocks, an office block, and fencing at a cost of 6 million shillings. Ladies and gentlemen, the first phase of the World Bank funded Naivasha market is almost complete. And once we have finished the first and second phase, we expect that 2,000 traders will benefit from this facility. This is one of our key flagship projects, and the first phase, which was costing 150, is at its tail end, while the second phase has already been advertised. In Kuresoi South, traders who used to bear the harsh weather in an open-air market just by the roadside have now benefited from a 12 million facility that has helped us to build sheds and give protection to the traders and business people in the market. Further in Rongai, we have a fully operational Banita market that has enhanced livestock trade, and as it will be remembered, we had already initiated a goat buying program every year, but due to COVID and other challenges, we have not been able to hold it in the last 2 years. But eventually, we would want to turn Banita to a major goat buying center, not just for the county, but also beyond. In Rongai also, we have the Salga market, and we have renovated the fencing, shades, and water. The county government of Nakuru has also signed a memorandum of understanding with the East African Grain Council to develop smart markets. To this end, we have picked Karai Fish Market in Naivasha and Top Market in Nakuru as the pioneers in this particular program. Further, we bought 2 acres of land in Karai, Naivasha for the construction of a fish market. The facility will have refrigeration facilities, parking, restaurants, and other complementary services to increase comfort for people on transit. And I also want to confirm that when you're driving from Nakuru to Naivasha, there are these traders who are by the roadside selling fish. And whenever you see traders, buyers and sellers come together, it means a market exists. And therefore what you're trying now to bring is just the physical market. But you have established that there's a very huge demand for our fish, but people who are using the road require a proper place where they can park, get fish in a hygienic manner, and also ensure that those who want to eat can also sit and eat, and also create wealth around that. And we target to give about 500 people direct jobs, while others will be indirect through creation of those markets. In Nakuru town, we have partnered with the national government to construct a 650 million modern market just near the fire engine. The new market will ease congestion within the town and accommodate more traders who are selling by the roadside. The works of the 3-story market has begun and will accommodate clothing, electronics, household, retail, and eateries. The facilities will also have daycare for mothers who have young children who require to be tended. And I also want to confirm that this market is part of our ongoing program to ensure that through creation of markets, we also create bigger opportunities for our people, especially the traders and the SME sector for that matter. Ladies and gentlemen, a modern bus park is an important infrastructure in any modern city. And to this extent, we have embarked on a reorganization of our town to ensure that public transport is given the right space and facilities